Bump.Set.Speak, episode 11 is here. This episode is a little different. We do not have a guest, but that's okay because me and Maddi are entertaining, right? Hopefully.
Yep.
Hopefully that you think so. That's why you're here. Because life happens all too quickly, so we don't have a guest this month. We do have a guest scheduled for next month. Big guest. We might tell you who it is at the end. So stick around. This episode will be a little bit shorter. Maddi and I are going to be playing more of a game rather than our typical hour-long-ish conversation. Maddi, you want to tell the people what game we'll be playing today?
We're going to play Would You Rather with a lot of different topics. So this episode is going to be Tyler and I debating, essentially.
So hopefully you get to learn a little bit more about us. We get to learn more about each other. And we want you to play along too. So if you're listening or watching, Spotify or YouTube, whichever one you're on right now, as you watch, as you listen, go to Instagram, tag us, if you feel like it, or just DM us. That'd be kind of cool too. And then after you're listening, as we release it, we'll post some of the highlights, and you can vote on our story too as that comes. So let's just get into it. Okay, we're gonna start with a warm-up round.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Would you rather have to speak in third person for a year, or only be able to whisper for a year?
I feel like, for me, I whisper, or I almost talk really quite a lot. So I would have to go with whispering for a year.
I knew it. That's what I was thinking you were going to say.
Yeah.
And if you didn't say that, I was going to say your exact same reasoning. You already whispered. I think I'd have to speak. Tyler would have to speak in the third person for a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That'd be easy for Tyler.
Yeah, it would be. You already do that.
I do already do that sometimes, yeah. All right, okay. Easy warm-up round. We got two more questions in our warm-up round.
Okay. The next one is, would you rather have permanent wet socks or wear an itchy sweater you can't take off?
I think I'd have to do the itchy sweater.
I would have to agree.
Because, like, if my socks are... I hate wet socks. It's just... I mean, I feel like most people hate wet socks. Like, I hate wet socks. Plus, I feel like after a certain time, you would get sick from your feet being so cold.
Yeah, or they would just smell really
your
bad.
Feet would shrivel up and fall off.
It might be a little dramatic, but...
Okay. Itchy sweater it is, sir. All right. Last question of the warm-up round. Would you rather have to sing every time you speak or dance every time you walk?
I would have to go with sing, because I think I'm a better singer than I am a dancer.
Okay, interesting.
I have my choir days. I can sing a little bit.
I just don't know my answer. I think I'd have to dance every time I walk. But I walk a lot. I could just talk less. I think I'll go sing every time I speak, like you said, and just start speaking less. So that I don't have to sing, because I'm not a good singer or dancer. I have no choir days or dance lesson days.
Dang.
Alright, warm-up round. So now you guys at home know a little bit more about us. And hopefully you will share your answers, and we'll know a little bit more about you. Now we'll do a volleyball-specific round. We'll dive a little deeper. The warm-up round was mostly just answer. No reason, really. Alright. I am ready for the volleyball round. Are you ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
First question. So, again, reminder, we are both setters. So, some of these questions are setting specific. Would you rather have to set every ball backwards or only be allowed to bump set?
I feel like you're going to have a similar answer to me, but I'm going to say bump set.
Ooh, okay. Why?
Because I think I don't know. Setting the ball backwards is so hard because you don't know where the hitter is. Unless they're, like, calling it super loud and, like, you've played with them for a long time.
Right.
So I think bump setting, well, it would be harder to, like, set middles. But I feel like you could get creative with it. Like, do one of these.
A backwards, upside down bump.
Yeah.
Back of the platform.
Yeah. Like one time we played tennis in practice, and we had to keep our hands together. So like this was your racket, and you couldn't separate your hands. Like all of our attacks were like tomahawks almost.
We always say play tennis, but say platform only, and then there's a little gray area of if this is a platform or not.
Well, to me it is. So that's what I would say.
That'd be interesting. Can you imagine having a bump set in the middle with your arms above your head trying to do upside down platform bump set?
I think that'd be fun. You'd have to have really good passes all the time.
You would. I think I will also go only bump set. I love bump setting.
Yeah, that's why.
It's one of my favorite things to do. And I'd probably do it a little bit too much.
Tyler likes to put some spin on it. So he'll do one of these.
Yeah.
For the people with visual watchers.
Yeah. Well, platform.
A little side spin.
Yeah. You try to get the spin going so the hitters already have a little spin to attack the ball with.
Yeah.
No, I also like to, maybe not in games so much, but in practice, I really like to try to force bump set the middles on bad passes.
Interesting.
From like 12 or 13 feet off, if I can't get my hands there, or if I can and I'm just being lazy, I like to try to force bump set the middle.
Interesting.
It rarely works. That's why I don't do it in games.
I don't think I have the accuracy to do that.
It's really fun though when it does work, which is few and far between.
It looks cool.
It does. For the young kids out there, it would be a clip. We'd clip it. Post it on TikTok.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Okay, next one. Would you rather never miss a serve, but never get an ace, or always get 3 aces, but also miss 6 serves?
That's not a bad ace to error ratio. The 1 to 2. It's like
for men's.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Correct. I feel like I kind of want to have the selfish answer and say get 3 aces and miss 6 serves, because I already kind of miss, like, I personally usually get like 1 to 2 serve aces per match, and then like 3 to 5 errors, and they don't always happen at the same time. But typically, that's like where I'm at. So I think 3 aces and 6 serves is gonna have to be my answer.
Interesting.
I don't know though, because do I get to pick when the aces and misses happen, or is it just like
no?
Because if I could
That'd
pick
be
when,
cheating.
If I could pick when, that would be ideal.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll still go with that answer though. 3 aces, but also 6 misses.
Okay.
From the service line.
I'm gonna go with the first one.
Ooh, why?
So I like getting aces. Like, getting aces is fun, but for us, like, something we always talked about, or Ray liked to talk about, was like side outs. Like, you lose 1 and then get 2. So like if you go back to the serving line, we want
I see.
At least 2 consecutive points. And if you miss a serve, you can't do that.
Yeah, but if you get an ace, it's easy.
Yeah. 1 time.
Yeah.
3 times. And then half the rest are errors.
I guess so. Missing 6 float serves would be bad.
Yeah. That's why I feel like it's different between men's and women's. 'Cause, like,
that makes sense.
Float serves should be consistent but also aggressive.
Yeah, because then, like, for us, float serves are like, okay, if you miss this, you are bad. You're not supposed to miss a float serve.
Yeah.
In the men's game. Okay, I understand. That makes sense. I still go for 3 aces and 6 aces.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Next one we kind of have a little experience with already, which may sway our answers. Would you rather play in a gym that is way too hot or way too cold?
Okay. See, I've had experiences with both.
Right.
It's like my high school gym was freezing at all times.
Okay.
And obviously here, we don't have any AC, and they basically turn the heat all the way up, or that's what it seems like.
That's what it feels like, for sure.
Yeah. I think now I would say a gym that's way too hot. Just in general.
Okay. Why now? Would you have had a different answer?
Well, I feel like in high school, like, it's always our advantage to say, like, oh, our gym is super cold, even though we had no say over what the temperature was in there. But, like, we didn't spend all of our time in there. So, like, home games, we would use our wrestling room to warm up in.
Because it was too cold to warm up.
Because it was too cold, and there was no other room to warm up in the gym. It's like, we were warmed up in the wrestling room, and then you just come out, you're already warm, and it doesn't feel as cold.
True. Well, the question is playing, not warming up, so that could be okay.
But, like, playing, you're already, like, the warming up part is the hardest part.
True.
So, like, when we played at, I think, Wheaton, their gym was freezing. Yeah. And, like, it's just hard to, like, will yourself to warm up while it's cold. So that's why I say I would rather play in a gym that's too hot.
Even if you get to warm up in a warm area? Though?
Yeah. Yes.
Because I was, like, for sure going to say play in a gym that's too hot. Because I hate everything about being in a cold gym.
It makes your hands cold.
Yeah, especially.
Then you got to set the ball and it hurts.
Okay, I'm glad you agree. But now that I'm thinking, like, if the gym is too cold, but I get to warm up properly in a not cold space. Yeah. I might be okay with a cold gym. If I'm warm and I warm up in a space that's too hot, and then I get to because then I'd still be. This happened when we were at Augustana. Yeah. Last week or whatever that was. The gym was really hot, but they had one side with a door open and one of those, like, big giant industrial circle fans going. So one side was like, I was insanely hot, sweating after like 20 minutes of warming up. And then we got to the second set, went over, sat on the bench. I was like, cold. Yeah. Okay. Yep, no, way too hot is the answer. Yes. Way too hot is the answer. Myrner, thank you. Yes. Shout out.
Served us well.
That it did.
Okay, am I next? Okay. Would you rather have a hitter who always calls for the ball but never gets a kill, or a hitter who never calls for the ball but always gets a kill?
It's easy for me. Yeah. Oh, you say yeah too. Now I'm interested. Okay, my answer that is easy is a hitter who always calls for the ball but never gets a kill.
I was going to say the opposite. Why?
I hate when my hitters don't call for the ball.
Okay.
Because...
Even if you already told them what to run?
Yeah.
Interesting.
One, because it moves the defense around. Yeah. A little more than it would if they didn't say anything.
That's true.
Because if you're middle...
Like if everybody says nothing.
Right. Right. I hate that, though. If that happens in practice, I catch the ball and I don't set anybody. Like, I do that way too often. But our hitters have learned, so I haven't had to do that in a while. But, I don't know. I guess, like, I could see it being okay because your hitter's always going to get a kill as long as you put up, like, a hittable set. But, no, I can't do that. I need my hitters to call for the ball.
Interesting.
Because it just says have a hitter, so not all the hitters.
Yeah.
That's so, true. Like, I could have my middle just be a giant decoy the whole game. Or my weakest hitter just be as loud as possible, set them a couple balls to keep the play going. Yeah. And then have the defense have to respect that and the block shift a little. And then I just go to my hitters that do talk and do get kills. Yep. That's my reasoning. Standing by.
Okay. I get the not decoy part, but like if everybody's loud, like it's harder to know. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it is annoying sometimes. If you're behind me, you have to say something. Or, like, you should say something. But, I mean, for me, I don't know. I guess having a twin puts me at a different perspective. Because, like,
true.
coaches are like,
You already
why didn't
know.
you say anything? Like, if I set the ball to Abby and she said nothing and, like, it works.
Yeah.
Like, how did you know she didn't say anything? I was like, I don't know. The only person I've played with my entire life.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Like, for me, that's what I would say. If I can pick that person to be Abby.
But if you can't pick that person to be Abby.
I don't know.
If Abby's not your outside hitter, you're not. You don't have a sibling on the team.
I don't know. I think it could go either way, depending on what position they play. So I feel like if it's easier for, like, an outside to say nothing and just, like, get out of system balls.
True. Okay. Well, Abby, you saved Maddie's answer. So when you listen to this, thank your sister. All right. Last question of the volleyball round.
Okay.
Would you rather have to play an entire match barefoot or an entire match wearing shoes that are 2 sizes too big?
Indoor or outdoor?
Indoor. Because outdoor would change the answer.
Yeah.
Indoor.
Yes. I don't know. I still think... I have no idea. Part of me wants to say barefoot, just because, like, as a setter, it's important to, like, be fast and have your feet get there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, that's gross. And that would be really hard. Like, if I had indestructible knees, ankles, and hips, barefoot.
Okay.
Because there's no support for the rest of your body.
That's fair. That makes sense. Because it's gross.
It is gross.
I'm going to say barefoot, because if I wear shoes that are too big, I'm going to be tripping way too much.
That's what I was thinking.
Especially in gyms that are way too hot.
Yeah, and you're changing direction so fast.
Yeah.
It's just...
Because I have worn shoes that are too big.
You have?
Not 2 sizes too big, like half a size too big. And I already...
On purpose?
Well, yeah, but they're not, like, so big. At the time, they didn't feel so big that I would not like them. But then I wore them and I didn't like them, so I changed my shoes. So if I can't even handle half a size too big, I'm not going to be able to handle 2 sizes too big.
True.
No, I would fall every other step. I'd like go to I'd take my last step to try to plant and jump at the net, and I would trip and, like, roll under the net and break somebody's ankle. So I will have to say barefoot.
Same.
Okay. All right, that will wrap up the volleyball specific round.
Okay.
Hopefully, if you're watching or listening, you're playing along. We want to know your answers. Like I said, eventually we'll post some clips, and you can vote on our story on Instagram when the time comes. But for now, play along at home, on the road, in the car with your friends. I don't know. Would You Rather is a fun game, and we're giving you some good questions. All right, so we have one more round. It's our closing round. It's short again, only 3 questions. 2 are non-volleyball related. 1 is volleyball related.
Okay.
First one. Would you rather have to eat only spicy food for a year or only bland food for a year? I'm really interested to know your answer, because I know
my answer?
Yeah.
I already know what your answer is going to be.
I don't think you do.
Interesting.
Go ahead.
Okay. I would say I'd have to go bland. Because if it's I don't like spicy.
Okay. That's what I knew. That's what I was expecting.
Almost. Yeah. Spicy is not my favorite. Because, like, if something's too spicy, you don't even enjoy it. Like, you can't really taste anything else.
Yeah, true. You just taste the heat.
Yeah. And, like, your tongue swells and you can't really taste
Your
anything.
tongue swells. What
That's
kind
what
of
it
spicy
feels
food
like.
are you eating?
I don't know.
Okay, but bland food. I'm looking up a definition of bland right now.
Well, I feel like that's
because
both.
to me, bland is like it doesn't taste like anything. Bland, according to Google and the dictionary from Oxford Languages, bland means lacking strong features or characteristics and therefore uninteresting.
Yeah. So, like, some people consider, but I feel like that's subjective. Like, some people think, like, you know what Cracker Barrel is?
Yes, I know what Cracker Barrel is. I love Cracker Barrel.
Well, some people think that food is, like, bland because it's all brown.
Oh, because of the color?
Yeah. Like, that's what some people consider to be bland.
Well, we're saying bland in taste, not in looks.
Well, I'd still go bland.
Okay. I think I'm going to say spicy.
That's crazy.
Because spicy is relative.
Yes, that is true. Both of them are relative. It's like what I think of as spicy, I would not want to eat every day for a year.
Yeah. But I feel like if you just have bland food, like, it's just boring.
Yeah, but you're at least eating all of it.
I know, but I love eating. Eating is... My volleyball teammates are going to make fun of me for saying this. They're going to call me fat. I love eating. I do. But if you have food that's not flavorful, I'm going to start to not like eating.
But if you have something that is so hot that you can't taste anything else.
Well, but who says it has to be? It doesn't have to be like...
Okay, what's your version of spicy?
I don't know. Mexican food. Food that's probably not spicy to most people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Some sauces are spicy.
That is true. I would agree with that.
That's like what I think of as like spicy food. Because I also don't like spicy food. But I'm still gonna say spicy.
That's interesting.
Because the bland would just, to me, bland is worse. Because then it's gonna, I don't know. Spicy, like, at least you get a little bit of flavor.
Yeah.
Before the heat.
Okay. Interesting.
I might be a little skinnier after a year of eating spicy food, though.
I would not eat as much. The volume is not going to be the same.
All right. Good.
Interesting. Okay. Next one. Would you rather be able to fly but only 5 feet off the ground, or run 50 miles per hour but only in a straight line?
See, okay, I've been going back and forth on this in my head. I still don't have an answer.
Really?
Because I think, like, my very first thought, my initial thought is fly.
Mm-hmm.
Because that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
But if you're only 5 feet off the ground, that's like, you're going to kick people.
Well,
I'm going to, like, kick people as I fly by them. Not on purpose, but, like, because, like, you're still in the way of other people.
Yeah. You could say the same about running.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you're running on the road with the cars.
Oh, that'd be so fun. Oh, that might change my answer. Could you imagine if a car drives by and you just like wave at them, and then you're like, ha, you catch up to them? I know that's dumb, but I think that'd be really fun. Okay, final answer. Final answer, flying.
I'm also going to say flying. There's no limit to how fast you can go.
True.
And you can go
zigzag, curve,
in
not a straight line.
Yeah.
Okay. Too many limitations on the running.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying.
Yes.
Okay, I agree with that. Fine.
Okay.
Good reasons. I agree. All right, last question of the episode. Last question of the Would You Rather Get to Know Your Host, Get to Know People episode. Back to the volleyball question. So I asked Maddi this question on if she would want to have it in our episode. And she said yes. I'm pretty sure we're going to have different answers. And I'm very intrigued to know the reasons. Would you rather play a match with no warm-up at all, or after doing a 3-hour workout beforehand?
Okay, so I would say in my current state, after doing a 3-hour workout beforehand, because I don't think my body could handle no warm-up at all, and then just thrown into a game. That's my reasoning. And the workout doesn't have to be like super strenuous. It can be all like.
But 3 hours.
Mobility.
But 3 hours.
What time do you get to the gym before you play?
If we play at 7, usually I get there at 5.
Okay, so that's 2 hours.
Yeah, but I'm not warming up the whole time.
Yeah, but you're doing like mobility exercises and warming up every individual part of your body.
Yeah, but that takes like, so like I go from like
Dr. Bill would be so proud of me for saying this.
He would. And Doc, I'm sorry for saying I prefer no warm up, but you'll hear my reasoning soon. But like, I don't know. I spend, so if we play 7, I go like 5:30 to 5:50 or 5:45 is usually like prehab stuff and warm ups. Maybe a little before 5:30. 5:25 to 5:45, we'll say 20 minutes. Right? So then we have our team meeting at 5:50, and then at 6 is when we start our DROMs. Dynamic range of motions. Yeah. I believe that's what that stands for. Yeah. And that goes for 20 minutes. And then the rest is volleyball warm-up. I hate the volleyball warm-up because it takes way too long. I don't need 45 minutes, 40 minutes of volleyball warm-up. 35 minutes.
Yeah.
So I really, it's like a body workout of maybe 40 minutes. And then a volleyball workout of maybe 40 minutes, max. Both of those are max.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I'm exhausted after those if I go too hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to like give 110%.
That's an hour 20. I can't do 3 hours. I had to double that and add 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I'm team no warm-up at all.
I'm the opposite.
Okay, here's my reasoning for no warm-up. The first set, we're losing. Given.
With no warm-up?
Sets 2 through 4, we're winning.
Interesting.
First set is all about warm-ups.
Yeah. But like
do some lunges as the play's going on.
If you have no
side lunges.
If you have no
you just kind of stretch the arms a little bit. I'm gonna keep cutting you off to make my point.
If you feel like as a setter you don't really need as much like body warm up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like that's
just
a perk of the
set
position.
a few balls. But like if your hitters have no warm up at all.
Yeah, but this is not the question is for us, not for our team.
Okay, well, I still pick 3 hours.
Because like my team can have their warm up.
Yeah.
I don't. This is where bump sets come in. Because I'm not warmed up, so like I can't get there as fast. So then I get my bump sets in.
That's true. Okay.
Team, no warm up at all. Please support me, fans.
No.
Family, please. Teammates, agree with me. No, they're all gonna say they. I feel like 3 hours is so long, though.
Yeah, but you can like stretch it out. If you think about it, like it's not like you're consistently like doing a rep or a set during those 3 hours. Like you have rest times, you have this and that. Like it's not. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
I feel like most people, so for us this year, we would get to the gym at like 4:45, 4:30, maybe.
Okay.
All the old people.
All the old people, because you need more warm up.
Yeah, we need more warm up.
True. So I can't deny that. I do need a lot of warm up.
We do a warm up as a serve pass, and then we do a team meeting, and then 15 minutes of volleyball.
Yeah. And you're not exhausted?
Not usually. No.
You're not going hard enough in warm ups.
It's warm up.
Okay.
Maybe like one like towards the end, like the last like 20 minutes, just setters, like we would do stuff, and that stuff would be a little harder. But like anything else.
I don't know. So I'm trying to think, like, realistically. I could probably go for, like, if I had to. I very much prefer a long warm-up, but 3 hours is way too long. That's why I'm saying no warm-up. So if I had to, I think I could do, like, a 10-minute warm-up would be enough for me. And that would be, like, I could get that in during the first set. I'd say even during the first half of the first set.
Okay.
Or the first 2/3 if you want to.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, give away the first set. Maybe we have a chance for it. Give away the first set. But like if the team knows, like, oh, hey, he doesn't have a warm up. Like my team's gonna say, oh, this won't be perfect. Then it's okay, because they'll know already.
Isn't that a bad thing?
Yeah, but so is a 3-hour workout. You'll be exhausted. All right, so if you're Team Tyler here, hashtag no warm up at all. But if you're Team Maddi, 3-hour workout before a game.
Yep.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode of fun little Would You Rather intermission from our typical hour-long conversations. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you played along. If not, you should. I'm going to tell Doc some of these questions.
Yeah, as we were going through them, I was thinking that he would have been a good, guest to have on for something like that.
We'll
His question of the days are similar.
Yeah. Doc, shout out to you and your questions of the days before every practice, every game. Those are entertaining. All right. That'll wrap up episode 11.
Yep.
Guess for next episode. Should I tell them? Should we tell them?
I don't know.
Should we?
No.
No? All right. Maddi said no.
Be a surprise.
Maddi said no. It's a big guest. if you want to know who it is, blame Maddi. She's the one that said no. Otherwise, stay tuned on our Instagram. That's how you'll find out. And we will post that probably a day or two after this episode releases. So if you're listening to this on the day of release, it will be Monday, April 7th.
Yep.
Which means it'll be sometime in that week that we will post, and you will find out the guest, for episode 12.
Woo!
You can blame Maddi for much content. Thank you for listening to it. Hopefully you had a fun time getting to know us, getting to know yourself and your friends if you played with them a little better.
Yep.
Bump.Set.Speak, episode 11. That's a wrap.